Hi there, my name is Lauren Lane. I'm a freshman here at NMSU-A. I wanted to start by saying the story starts with a narrator, a 14-year-old girl named Celie, who lives with her sister, Nettie, their dying mother, and their father named Alfonso. Celie is sexually abused by Alfonso and impregnated by him twice. Throughout the book, she writes in form of letter to God. I'll start. Dear God, I am 14 years old. I have always been a good girl. Maybe you can give me a sign letting me know what is happening to me. Last spring, after little Lucius come, I heard them fussing. He was pulling on her arm. She say, "It too soon, Fonzo, I ain't well." Finally, he'd leave her alone. A week go by, he pulling on her arm again. She say, "No, I ain't gonna. Can't you see I'm already half dead, and all these children?" She went to visit her sister over Macon. Left me to see after the others. He never had a kind word to say to me. Just say, "You gonna do what your mammy wouldn't." First, he put his thing up against my hip and sort of wiggled it around. Then he grabbed hold of my titties. Then he pushed his thing inside my pussy. When that hurt, I cried. He started to choke me, saying, "You better shut up and get used to it." But I never don't get used to it. And now I feel sick every time I be the one to cook. My mama, she fuss at me and look at me. She happy because he good to her now, but too sick to last long. Dear God, my mama dead. She died screaming and cussing. She scream at me. She cuss at me. I'm big. I can't move fast enough. By the time I get back from the well, the water be warm. By the time I get the tray ready for the food, it be cold. By the time I get all the children ready for school, it be dinner time. He don't say nothing. He sat there by her bed, holding her hand and crying, talking about, "Don't leave me, don't go." She asked me about the first one, whose it is. I say God's. I don't know no other man, know what else to say. When I start to hurt, then my stomach start moving, and then that little baby come out my pussy, chewing on it fist. You know what? You could have knocked me over with a feather. Don't nobody come see us. She got sicker and sicker. Finally, she asked where it is. I say, God took it. He took it. He took it while I was sleeping, killed it out there in the woods. Kill this one too if he can. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Lauren. Okay, now we're going to hear Anne French with Huckleberry Finn, Adventures of.
Would you like to run away right now and from school and travel down to Mississippi? Then you might like to read this novel by Mark Twain that tells about a 13-year-old boy who did just that. I want to read the 10 best Huckleberry Finn quotes. You don't know about me without you have read the book named The Adventures of Tom Sawyer, but that ain't no matter. That book was made by Mr. Mark Twain, and he told the truth, mainly. There was things which he stretched, but mainly he told the truth. Number 9. We said there weren't no home like a raft after all. Other places do seem so cramped up and smothering, but a raft don't. You feel mighty free and easy and comfortable on a raft. Number 8. Jim, the runaway slave, was most ruined for a servant because he got stuck up on account of having seen the devil and been rode by witches. Number 7. All I say is, kings is kings, and you gotta make allowances. Take them all around, they're mighty ornery lot. It's the way they was raised. Number 6, the pitifulest thing out is a mob. That's what an army is, a mob. They don't fight with courage that's born in them, but with courage that's borrowed from their mass and from their officers. But a mob without any man at the head of it is beneath pitifulness. Number 5, there aren't anybody at the church except maybe a hog or two. For there weren't any lock on the door, and hogs like the puncheon floor in summertime because it's cool. If you noticed, most folks don't go to church only when they've got to, but a hog is different. Number 4, then the old man got to cussing, and cussed everything and anybody he could think of, and then cussed them all over again to make sure he hadn't skipped any. And after that, he polished off with a kind of general cuss all the way around, including a cuss for the parcel of people that he didn't know the names of, and so called them what's his name when he got to them, and went right along cussing them out. Number 3, ain't we got all the fools in town on our side? And ain't that big enough majority in any town? Number 2, what's the use you learning to do right when it's troublesome to do right, and ain't no trouble to do wrong, and the wages is just the same? Number 1, persons attempting to find a motive in this narrative will be prosecuted. Persons attempting to find a moral in it will be banished. Persons attempting to find a plot in it will be shot.